So we were here. If you have ever been in a life or death emergency situation, you will know that it wasn't a problem. The mind didn't have time to fool around and make it into a problem. In a true emergency, the mind stops. You become totally present in the now, and something infinitely more powerful takes over. This is why there are many reports of ordinary people suddenly becoming capable of incredibly courageous deeds. In any emergency, either you survive or you don't. Either way, it is not a problem. Some people get angry when they hear me say that problems are illusions. I am threatening to take away their sense of who they are. They have invested much time in a false sense of self. For many years, they have unconsciously defined their whole identity in terms of their problems or their suffering. Who would they be without it? A great deal of what people say, think, or do is actually motivated by fear, which of course is always linked with having your focus on the future and being out of touch with the now. As there are no problems in the now, there is no fear either. Should a situation arise that you need to deal with now, your action will be clear and incisive if it arises out of the present moment awareness. It is also more likely to be effective. It will not be a reaction coming from the past conditioning of your mind, but an intuitive response to the situation. In other instances, when the time-bound mind would have reacted, you will find it more effective to do nothing, just stay centered in the now. It happens with a lot of people. I'll just share an example, a general example, which happens with, you've had a very tiring day. बहुत काम किया, totally exhausted. You just want to get home, eat something, and just hit the bed and sleep. That's all what you want to do. कि भाई मेरे पास तो अभी जान प्राण ही नहीं है. I just want to hit the bed or probably grab a bite and then hit the bed. And suddenly, imagine yourself coming home and you see that your house is on fire. Will you just sit and relax? No. You will start doing whatever is possible to get that fire under control. You will call the fire ambulance, you'll call police, you'll call for the help from the neighbors, whatever is possible. और एकदम से आपकी सारी थकान ऐसे गायब हो जाएगी. क्या था वो? It was the mind's projection at play. It's not कि आप थक नहीं सकते हो, थक सकते हो. But in a lot of cases, the mind overreacts and projects that you are tired, whereas you are actually not tired. So in case, whenever we are there in case of, extreme emergency, where it's a life or death situation, your mind stops and suddenly, you have these people who get these extraordinary courage and everything. So I can share one example, live example, which happened with me, and Om was there. So it was, I think, third semester, second semester, we had all gone for Palampur. So we were coming down from a place called Beer. वहाँ से paragliding करके. So two people took the paragliding down, Om and I think GT. Rest all of us are coming in that jeep, and बड़ा पतला रास्ता था उस टाइम पे. I am talking 2003, 19 years back. एंड हम लोग नीचे आ गए. वी वर वेरी स्केर्ड बिकॉज बड़ा टाइम लग रहा था कि यार ये जीप थोड़ी वॉबली हो रही है कि कहीं गिरगुर ना जाए, खड़खुड़ में ना चले जाए. चलो, we came down, we picked up these two, all of us sat in that open jeep and we are traveling, and suddenly on a flat road, the tire burst, the jeep toppled over. So there was two topples in that jeep, and suddenly वहां पे एक पोल था, तो पोल पे जीप करके रुक गई. पोल के पीछे it was a big high, so the pole saved us, all of us. I don't know what happened, but can you imagine that two people actually pulled the jeep back, and Om was under that jeep. I still remember that. He hurt his back. He was on good bed rest for, I remember, 3-4 months. He did a lot of physiotherapy and everything. But me and Bhalla actually got that courage to pull that jeep. और उसको हमने सीधा किया है. कहाँ से आई पावर हमें नहीं पता. And it actually happened with us. So Om is not here today. He can definitely vouch for it. But yeah, it happened. So at that time, where did we get that courage? हम लोग तो डरे हुए थे कि हम तो पहले ही सोच रहे थे पता नहीं जीप को क्या हो जाएगा. Didn't realize what we were manifesting and didn't realize what was in store for us. So I mean, things happen, but yeah, उस टाइम पे माइंड शांत हो जाता है. वो थॉट नहीं आती क्या है क्या नहीं है, वो हो क्या होगा ये होगा, नहीं. You just want to do the instant thing and get things to back to as normal as you can. So we were more concerned कि he's under the jeep, we need to pull the jeep. So two of us just got the courage and we pulled that jeep. हमारे माइंड ने तो नहीं बोला उस टाइम पे, वो पागल हो गए. वो जीप को पता है कितना वेट होता है, 4-5 टन की होती है. दो बंदे कैसे कर सकते हैं? You guys are not body builders, you guys don't do weights or something. That's the mind. So the mind is not interfering and not going through any of its projections, there is tremendous power. But that receiving उस power, उस guidance के लिए mind छुपाता है. See, what is mind? Mind is nothing but a set of belief patterns, a set of programming that has been throughout your upbringing till the time you start, unpeeling those layers. So जो mind की layers हम निकालते हैं, वो उसने हमें बांधा हुआ है. वो प्रोजेक्शन कर देगा, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, you need to do this, it's not possible. It's all the game of the mind. At the end of the day, if that thought comes to you that this needs to be done, that means that thing exists in the universe. But mind उसको block करता है. A quantum leap in the evolution of consciousness. I have had glimpses of this state of freedom from mind and time that you describe, but past and future are so overwhelmingly strong that I cannot keep them out for long. The time-bound mode of consciousness is deeply embedded in the human psyche. But what we are doing here is part of a profound transformation that is taking place in the collective consciousness of the planet and beyond. The awakening of consciousness from the dream of matter, form, and separation. The ending of time. We are breaking mind patterns that have dominated human life for eons. Mind patterns that have created unimaginable sufferings on a vast scale. I am not using the word evil. It is more helpful to call it unconsciousness or insanity. This breaking up of the old mode of consciousness, or rather unconsciousness, it is something we have to do, or will it happen anyway? I mean, is this change inevitable? That's a question of perspective. The doing and the happening is in fact a single process, because you are one with the totality of consciousness. You cannot separate the two. But there is no absolute guarantee that humans will make it. The process isn't inevitable or automatic. Your cooperation is an essential part of it. However, you look at it, it is a quantum leap in the evolution of consciousness, as well as our only chance of survival as a race. The joy of being. To alert you that you have allowed yourself to be taken over by psychological time, you can use a simple criterion. Ask yourself, is there joy, ease, and lightness in what I am doing? If there isn't, then time is covering up the present moment and life is perceived as a burden or a struggle. If there is no joy, ease, or lightness in what you are doing, it does not necessarily mean that you need to change what you're doing. It may be sufficient to change the how. How is always more important than what. See, if you can give much more attention to the doing than to the result that you want to achieve through it, give your fullest attention to whatever the moment presents. This implies that you are also completely that you also completely accept what is, because you cannot give your full attention to something and at the same time resist it. As soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve and life begins to flow with ease and joy. When you act out of the present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes imbued with a sense of quality, care, and love, even the most simple action. So, जब भी हमें लगे कि there is a struggle, that is just a situation. Probably you need to experience it. If it's in your space, it might be there for a reason, for a lesson, for something for you to learn or anything. But stop judging it. Apply the jack. At that time, apply the jack. And when we are in that doing, now it's very easy to say that you're in the doing, but the real doing or the real journey is actually a journey from doing to being. जो ईगो है वो सारा टाइम इस प्रमाइस से चलता है, मैंने किया, आई डिड दिस, आई हैव डन दिस. So there is all the time that ego, that ahankar, that is in that association with that doing. But when that doing is not from that premise that I have done it, because you are in that moment, you are not thinking about the future. So that journey where everything is being done through me, that is accepting what is as it is. अगर मैं ये सोच रहा हूं कि ये मैंने किया है, I am reading this book, this is a premise from my ego. And when a lot of I don't know about newcomers, but yeah, whatever I always say is this book reading is happening through me. I am not doing anything. I just ask for the help from my higher self, from the higher powers, from all the universes and my spiritual guides and guardian angels, ki whatever is required to be shared for the benefit of all, I would love to be the via medium for that. So I am not doing this book session. The book session is being done through me. हम कुछ नहीं करते हैं. Everything is being done through us. That is a journey from doing to being. That is a journey in accepting what is as it is. That is where we keep our mind and we keep our ego at bay. अगर मैं ये सोचूं, और यार ये तो मैं करा रहा हूँ, ये तो मेरा तो बड़ा ये है जी, मैं तो बड़ा लर्नेड हो गया हूँ, मैं तो ये हो गया, that's ego. Then I am giving power to that ego, so that water is going to that ego. But if I am asking for help, ki I would love to be a via medium. So whatever is required for the benefit of all can, be channelized through me. I am not the doer here then. So I'm letting it be. I'm not doing anything. Things are being done through me. So that's the perspective of accepting what is as it is, because you aap nahi kar rahe. You are not the doer. Whenever you feel you are the doer, that's the ego, that's the mind playing games. At the end of the day, true surrender of accepting the fact of what is as it is, accepting the isness of life, is coming from that premise that this thing is being done through me. I am just a via medium. So that is a journey from doing to being. And that's the joy of being, accepting what is as it is. कोई जैक नहीं है, कोई जजमेंट नहीं है, कोई एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं है, कोई कंप्लेन नहीं है, कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं है, कोई क्रिटिसिज्म नहीं. It is as it is, and I accept it, or I acknowledge it first, and then I probably accept it. It is as it is. That is the actual meaning of the isness of life. It is as it is. मेरा एसोसिएशन या मेरा माइंड उसको एक अलग मीनिंग देगा. हर एक बंदे का माइंड, हर एक बंदे की प्रोग्रामिंग के हिसाब से उस चीज को अलग मीनिंग्स दिए जाएंगे. उस चीज में कुछ नहीं है. उस एक चीज या इंसिडेंस या सिचुएशन को हर एक माइंड डिफरेंट इंटरप्रेट करेगा. दैट इज नॉर्मल. दैट इज हाउ द माइंड वर्क्स. नॉट ऑल माइंड आर द सेम. Everybody is going to interpret that situation, that event through their programming, whatever is their programming. But life or that situation is as it is. मैंने जो उसको मीनिंग दिया है या मेरे माइंड ने जो मीनिंग दिया है वो उस माइंड का मीनिंग है. उस चीज में कुछ नहीं है. It is just a situation.
So Arjun, then for example, when you're
just a second.
sorry, yeah.
For example, कुछ हो रहा है, one person is injured. Like I shared that example of dust. You can share any other example from your day-to-day life. One person is really enjoying the rain. The other is, यार मैं तो गीला हो गया. बारिश ने क्या किया है? बारिश is as it is. It is you who are perceiving that बारिश. You who are giving that meaning to that बारिश ना. बारिश ने तो कोई जजमेंट नहीं की, कोई एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं दी, कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं किया. उसने तो बारिश ने बस, देयर इज वाटर फॉलिंग. माय एसोसिएशन, आई एम लविंग द रेन. माय एसोसिएशन, हाय मैं गीला हो गया. माय एसोसिएशन, हाय मैं मीटिंग के लिए लेट हो गया. माय एसोसिएशन, हाय मैं ट्रैफिक जैम में फंस गया. माय एसोसिएशन, यार इतना पानी क्यों. So everybody will have different, every mind will have a different interpretation of the exact same situation, whereas the situation or that event is as it is without jack. So mind जब उसको इंटरप्रेट करेगा वो जैक से करेगा, बट सिचुएशन में कुछ नहीं है. It is as it is. Yeah, Supriya.
But in life, when we are trying to self analyze, self improve, uh, live, trying to, so I will not use the word problems, but understanding situation and circumstances, relationships, etc., etc., you're self analyzing. Again, I'm not using the word judging, but you're analyzing, uh, what's wrong, why not like this, why like that. That is part of the judgment, of course, in that situation. So but when you're trying to improvise and self analyze and try to move from a zone of having to handle situations and to get to better situations, at that point of time, isn't mind uh, required to judge for right now. I'll use the word, word judge, to judge and then to make a decision कि अच्छा ऐसा था तो इस वजह से ऐसा हुआ, तो मैंने शायद कुछ किया होगा, that's why it came to me, so maybe I should self analyze and work on myself.
माइंड के डिसीजंस आर ऑलवेज थ्रू जजमेंट, ऑलवेज थ्रू एक्सपेक्टेशंस, always through comparisons, and always through criticism. You cannot ask your mind for things when you're self-analyzing. When you are
Right.
self-analyzing, you need to be connected to your subconscious mind. So whenever you feel like connecting to yourself to know the real answers, first get that brainwave state from a beta to an alpha and then to a gamma, and then speak with yourself. अगर हम कॉन्शियस माइंड से बातें करते रहेंगे तो वो तो गोल गोल घुमैया में फंसाता रहेगा, तो भूल
You mean
भुलैया
to say the learning and the answer would be found in the
subconscious.
subconscious?
You need to speak. You need to get on to that state, na. See, it's like first in first out. मेरे कॉन्शियस माइंड सबसे आगे है और मेरी बॉडी का या मेरे ब्रेन वेव एक बीटा स्टेट में है, विच इज एन एक्टिव स्टेट वेयर एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग ऑन. फर्स्ट आई नीड टू, in order to slow down the car, I need to get from gear 4 to gear 3, gear 3 to gear 2, gear 2 to gear 1, and then stop. That is getting your brain wave from a beta to an alpha and then to a gamma. And it's very easy. Just do 11 deep breaths, close your eyes. See, mind को शांत करने के लिए पहले mind के जो 5 aids हैं उनको खत्म करना होता है, मतलब उनको क्वाइट करना पड़ता है. So close your eyes. If it's a guided meditation, you know, you can wear AirPods. They're more effective, earphones and all. टच ना हो, कोई स्मेल ना हो, you know, all these senses को आप कम करोगे तो माइंड को फीडिंग नहीं मिलेगी. It's easier to go into that state. Then take 11 deep breaths, breathe into your body. Halka, see, now this comes with practice. You know, like in hypnotherapy, we are told this tool of doing self-hypnosis. So I can take myself, it's very easy, it's not a rocket science, it's just that you need to learn it. So you can take yourself into self-hypnosis, that there's a script for it, and then get on to, and you know, just ask your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind बहुत strong होता है और वो फर्स्ट थॉट फर्स्ट फीलिंग के कॉन्सेप्ट पे चलता है. जो फर्स्ट थॉट रैंडम आ रही है ना, उसमें आपका आंसर है. बट या इफ यू आस्क टू द कॉन्शियस माइंड, वो जैक में फंसाएगा, फॉर श्योर जैक में फंसाएगा. उसको शांत करना बहुत जरूरी है इफ यू वांट टू आस्क एंड एनालाइज योरसेल्फ.
करेक्ट, बट वो डिफरेंशिएट करना कि ये कॉन्शियस माइंड बोल रहा है कि मेरा सबकॉन्शियस बोल रहा है,
सो ऐसे
वो
प्रैक्टिस.
बहुत टफ है. या
टफ नहीं है कुछ भी, माइंड बना रहा है उसको टफ. आई जस्ट सेड इट्स अ स्क्रिप्ट. If you do it, it takes half an hour to learn self-hypnosis. Half an hour. And don't tell me half an hour is too much. See, it is as tough as you make it, and it is as easy and simple as you make it. Just try. Next time you want to analyze yourself, don't ask your conscious mind. Take 21 deep breaths. Late jao. Be in a comfortable spine. Make sure you keep it erect. Take 21 deep breaths and gamma state, breathe in from your nose and breathe out from your mouth. Exactly jo bhi hoga, I'll share it with you. So these are breathing techniques to get to that state. So whatever is the breathing, I think it is nose to mouth. So just do 21 deep breaths and then be quiet for a minute. Let all the thoughts flow. वो conscious mind के thoughts निकल रहे हैं, उसके बाद पूछो. You will get answers. And go with the first thought, first feeling. Very important. Trust your instinct. So don't be concerned with the fruit of your action. Just give attention to the action itself. The fruit will come of its own accord. This is a powerful spiritual practice. In Bhagavad Gita, one of the oldest and most beautiful spiritual teachings in existence. Karam kar, phal ki ichha na kar. Non-attachment to the fruit of your action is called Karam Yoga. It is described as the path of consecrated action. When the compulsive striving away from the now ceases, the joy of being flows into everything you do. The moment your attention turns to the now, you feel a presence, a stillness, a peace. You no longer depend on the future for fulfillment and satisfaction. You don't look to it for salvation. Therefore, you are not attached to the results. Neither failure nor success has the power to change your inner state of being. You have found the life underneath your life situation. In the absence of psychological time, your sense of self is derived from being, not from your personal past. Therefore, the psychological need to become anything other than who you are already is no longer there. In the world, on the level of your life situation, you may indeed become wealthy, knowledgeable, successful, free of this or that. But in the deeper dimensions of being, you are complete and whole now. Is that in that state of wholeness, would we still be able or willing to pursue external goals? Of course, but you will not have illusionary expectations that anything or anybody in the future will save you or make you happy. As far as your life situation is concerned, there may be things to be attained or acquired. That's the world of form, of gain and loss. Yet, on a deeper level, you are already complete. And when you realize that, there is a playful, joyous energy behind what you do. Being free of psychological time, you no longer pursue your goals with grim determination, driven by fear, anger, discontent, or the need to become someone. Nor will you remain inactive through fear of failure, which to the ego is loss of self. When your deeper sense of self is deprived from being, when you are free of becoming as a psychological need, neither your happiness nor your sense of self depends on the outcome. And so there is freedom from fear. You don't seek permanency where it cannot be found in the world of form, of gain and loss, birth and death. You don't demand that situations, conditions, places, or people should make you happy and then suffer when they don't live up to your expectations. Everything is honored, but nothing matters. Forms are born and die, yet you are aware of the eternal underneath the forms. You know that nothing real can be threatened. When this is your state of being, how can you not succeed? You have succeeded already.